Welcome to the Brad and Taylor Show. Today we have Rich Eisiminger.
You're listening to the Brad and Taylor Show, a podcast that inspires entrepreneurs to pursue their passions. We're sitting down with some of the best to learn how they got started and some lessons they learned along the way.
Hey, Rich, how's it going?
Going great.
I like it. So what exactly do you do, Rick?
I'm a real estate broker here in the city of Plymouth.
I like it. So when you were younger, is this what you had planned for your future?
I see that one of the questions was what I wanted to be when I grew up. Well, I'm 60 years old. That's a long time to remember at 5 years old, but I gave it my best thought, and I actually wanted to be a farmer and a gardener, something in the woods. I just always, as a kid, loved having a garden. I had a garden when I was a teenager in the back of my mom and dad's place behind the garage. And I always remember planting and weeding and watching it grow.
That's awesome. So when you
I like that.
That's awesome. So when you were how did you make that transition from wanting to do that to then slowly getting to the real estate industry? When did you do that, or what did you do before real estate?
Yeah, as far as the history, that thought when you're a little kid, you think about what you want to do when you grow up, but it basically changed as you started to get into real life. And I have a thought in my head about the four quarters of life, and I don't want to get too deep with that one, but it's a long-term goal that I'll set and maybe introduce to you sometime at one point. But from 0 to 10, you're just a sponge. You're taking it all in. From 10 years old to 20 years old, you basically, you live life fast and you want it fast. You want it to happen. And somewhere along the line, I kind of lost the dream of a farmer, which even in the 70s wasn't all that admired, and it wasn't really a choice. So out of high school, I was a voc tech student for construction, and I built a home, and the Wayne Westland school system, John Glenn provided that opportunity for me. And so half of my senior year was not in the classroom, is out on the job watching a house be built. I went from there to a carpenter, tough life, hard work, making $6 an hour as an apprentice carpenter. I look back at it now, and what changed my mind was the model home of a Pulte sub on 12 Mile and Drake in Farmington Hills. I would be kind of cold out in the outside in a winter in Michigan, and I'd see a Cadillac pull up to the model home. And my dream started there. I said, I got to get into sales. Because this rough carpentry stuff is tough work. So it kind of started there, and I moved on to being not a carpenter, but a general contractor and a builder. And I've developed a few things and kind of pulled myself into the sales career when I took my test as a realtor, and then 3 years later as a broker. Nice.
So when you started out, were you on a team, or were you kind of by yourself, or what? How did that kind of start out?
Yeah, I've always been kind of a lone wolf, I guess. And I started off with a Remerica franchise with a partner, David James, and I started a small little office in Westland, and then I moved on from there, went into the Remax franchise system, had a couple of franchises there. And before the Remerica, I was a Century 21 agent, brand new, and got into the corporate world there, kind of being taught how to run an office. And so the thoughts were planted. It's just like an entrepreneur. You're always wanting to be better. That's something that I would try to push off to young agents. You just always want to be better. Every day, turn around, try to be better.
Yeah. When you first started out in real estate, was there any advice that you were given that has stuck with you through the years?
Yeah, I kind of thought really hard about that. One, it was just don't take it personally, and sales are tough in a sense because I'm a personable guy, and most people aren't,
Yep.
It's just, when you don't get the deal or you don't close it or they use somebody else, it's hurtful, and you just got to get over it and move on to the next. It's a famous line from one of my old, may rest in peace, David Fletcher used to say, after a bad deal, he'd just say next, you just move on to the next one.
Yep.
And you just have to have that mentality in sales if you want to be successful. That's for sure. Do not take it personal. Can't please everybody.
Yep.
Absolutely. So what is the worst piece or worst property that you've been to? Let's switch it a little bit. Worst property you've ever been to?
Oh, you threw me. You didn't have that question on there. Well, I came through, which was going to be about coming through some of the bad times has made me stronger, which was in 07, 08. We all remember those times if you've been around. Those homes were just nasty. Just bad situations of homes being broken up, sad. So I would say those properties in those, I've seen numerous homes and broken families. It was a sad time for everybody.
Were most of those the foreclosures?
Foreclosures, short sales, families being split up because of financial reasons. Everything's crushing down. They don't have jobs. Losing their homes is a very dramatic thing, and then it splits a lot of people up, unfortunately. And to be right in the middle of it, trying to sell it to somebody else, one man's pain is another man's gain, right? That's what happened, and it did turn around, and glad to be standing afterwards. I can tell you that.
Yeah, for sure. So when did you decide to start your own brokerage?
It started back in Century 21 when I was up in the corporate world, and you just, again, wanting to do better. I just want to be a carpenter my rest of my life. I don't want to be just work in the plant. I want to be like the CEO. I want to be the guy. I want to just have that drive. And then it's a good drive. Sometimes it's a little scary otherwise. But after 30, 40 years in it, it's a blessing, and I'm glad I stuck with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what do you got? Do you plan on building a team, or what do you got coming on for the next year or so?
Yeah, I see, the question there is where I'm coming into, I'm 61 years old. I am blessed and grateful for all that I've been given to get through the tough times, to go 30 years without a paycheck from another company. To be an entrepreneur has been gratifying. And to be at this point in my career, to look forward to the end, I'm saving. And I would recommend the advice I would give to other young agents is to get your budget. Take a look at DaveRamsey.com, and the guy it's just simple stuff, but yet it'll keep your mind at ease with money. It's either you're going to manage it or it's going to manage you, and I recommend you managing it.
Oh yeah.
And if you save right, do the right things, you can make it in this business. And in the long haul, right? It's not the short little sprints. It's the long haul, and that's where I'm at. So the next 5 years, save. I have a retirement nest egg. I got the 401k, and I've done all the things, and I pay my taxes quarterly. I've got to the financial place, and now it's to look forward to, that retirement years. Now, a realtor really doesn't have to retire. There we go. Doesn't have to really retire, and I don't know why my secretary didn't answer that phone. But, you may want to cut that out and edit that one.
Sounds good.
That's all right. Yeah, if she calls back and you need to answer it, that's fine. We can pause.
Yeah. So in the retirement era, you don't really retire. So the retirement's going to be from all of my stuff, the office, the overhead. Yeah. Managing people. It will just be back to me being a realtor, and who I don't know where the Rich Realty brand will go or where I will be at in 5 years. I'm just going to let my Lord and Savior guide me on that one, and I'll run with it.
Yep.
But my hope is that I continue to do well and stay with the volume that I have been doing, and save for that retirement day so I don't have to go out and hustle anymore.
Yeah, you're like, now just set it back and just get listing here and there once in a while and call it good.
And maybe go back into farming and
there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
A greenhouse is my prayer at home. I built my own home. Again, I have that builder's attitude, and I'm a do-it-yourself kind of guy. So I built my own home. I got it paid off. It's a wonderful thing. It's a Dave Ramsey plan, and it started 15 years ago with me. And thank God I was able to accomplish that. But to have a greenhouse is my little dream. Not a big one, just a little one in the backyard.
Yeah.
Start with seedlings in the spring. I just think
I
enjoy that.
Do you garden now?
I do with weeds.
Okay.
To do a garden is a lot of time, and I'm not retired yet, and so I show up every day and just to maintain the yard. I got an acre of land, just to maintain that is working up. You need to have free time to garden and do it right. Yeah, so I haven't started it yet, and I'm hoping to. And that's one of my dreams.
Yeah, so you'll get back to farming. Your original,
that's right.
Original plan.
My original thought going way back when. I always told the wife that we needed to do one of those little tiny houses and get about 20 acres and just be self-contained. Now, that may be a little far-fetched for most people, but I find it intriguing. But I doubt that'll happen. As you get to 61, your body starts to feel a little bit more pain than it did back when I was 30.
Yeah.
Just the way it works.
Yep, for sure. So let's say you had to start all over today and you only had $1,000. How would you spend that first $1,000?
In the business of real estate sales?
Or actually, any business kind of.
Well, that's a tough one, Brad. I would have to say I would definitely put it in the bank, and how you got the $1,000, figure out how you can get another one, and then kind of build off of it before you go spending. Start to get behind somebody, mentor with somebody, and I would say education probably would be my first go-to. Is figure out, read a book, watch it on YouTube, figure out how I can get another $1,000.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know you've attracted a couple of really good people at your brokerage that kind of been with you for a long time, and you taught them everything, and that's awesome.
Well, I'm not going to take credit for that. Those are guys at the cream of the crop, and I was just
you got lucky
under my tutelage, and Matt Talbot and Eric Wright. Both of those guys are the cream of the crop. They have the mentality of knowing how to work. In this business, you really, for 12 hours, you shouldn't be bored and figuring out what you need to do in this business, in any sales business, in any business. And they know how to get there, and their minds are always working, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the way mine was. Still is, not as strong. I don't have the hopes and dreams that they probably have to be a lot bigger in a company or team or volume or wherever their thoughts and hopes and dreams are. But I can tell you they've got what it takes to get there. It's just a matter of them continuing on with their efforts. And again, I gave them the platform. I'm not a, hey, you have the Rich Realty logo. You got to work with that. No, I'm flexible with that. As long as it's in guidelines with the state of Michigan, I'm not worried about those guys not being the Rich Realty. I mean, it never was my goal to have Rich Realty be a big corporation for agents. It just happened to grow. And again, I wanted to, the how I got here and where I get is definitely, it's my faith. It's God driven. And that's where my power came from. And I say, when those guys leave me, just stick a little bit of my spirit and hope in your heart and you'll be okay. If you don't, your success may tend to go on.
We know where you're going.
No, there you go.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what?
You can read between the lines on that one.
Yep. What kind of business books would you recommend for somebody kind of start out in business or in real estate?
Well, the Keller book is one. It's just filled with great things that you can do to make yourself more successful. I go back to Norman Vincent Peale and the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book. I am an Audible guy. About 15 years ago that I was turned on to Audible, which has now been picked up by Amazon. Mm-hmm. But I've been listening to positive thoughts and books is my recommendation. Because again, that sales are up and down. It's emotional swing. If something's not pumping good thoughts into your mind, you're probably more than likely going to get bad thoughts thrown in there that you need to get out right away, especially in sales. So there's just so many books, great stuff. Obviously, I would want them to read the book with black covers on it, but again, to each his own. But I would say there's a lot of good wisdom in the good old black leather Bible.
Yep. Awesome. How can people get a hold of you, and where can they find you?
We're at 281 North Main, right downtown Plymouth, right across the street from the brand new Planet Fitness. It's no more excuses for me because I can walk right across the street. I need to start losing some weight. We're right there on Main Street. Rich Realty is our office, and my phone. The business is 734-459-5100, and my cell phone direct line 734-516-4942, and website is richrealtyonline.com, and you should be able to reach out and catch me.
Sweet, sounds good. Hey, thanks for coming on and sharing your story with us today.
You got it. Thanks, Brad and Taylor. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Are these working?
All right.
Here we go.
Oh, there we go. I think they're working. Should we tell them?
Mine keeps falling. It doesn't like my voice.
What do we got to tell them?
Subscribe.
Subscribe? What do we got to point at it? Hey, I think there's a subscription button. Like
it might be there.
It might be right there too.
Somewhere.
Find
it. It's red.
Yeah. And it's blue. It's green. I don't really know.
It's a color.
This mic isn't even attached. Did you plug these in? Well, I guess.
I wonder if they can hear us.
Yeah, I wonder if they hear us. Well, we should probably tell them if they can hear us. We should probably tell them also give us a 5-star review if they're listening on Apple. That'd be cool.
5 stars, review. Guys.
Share it with everybody they can think of.
We won't take 4 stars.
I mean, Taylor, I don't even think these are on. I mean,
I don't think this is working.
This is not working.
Yeah.